Hello Aries, Elsie here to do your reading for the month of February. We're going to take an overall look at February of 2024. We're going to look at love, career, and finances. We'll find out what's going to come up for you here. Let's talk about it, Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Let's figure it out here. Let's talk about love first for you, Aries. What's coming up in February 2024? Here we go. Only time will tell. We'll pull out this kind of general. We'll pull out one more card here for you. Tell me about Aries in love, please, for the month of February. Aries in love. We've got passion. Passion says, a magnetic and seductive quality surrounds you at present. Enjoy it. So you're kind of irresistible. I'm going to say, Aries, my little fire family. It's like your energy is a little bit irresistible in February. So what do we have on the bottom here? We have trust. It says transformation occurs through acceptance. Once you accept the current situation, it will automatically transform. And that's the key for anything, y'all. Trusting yourself, that's the key for anything. When you decide to accept the current situation for what it is and you stop pushing against it and telling yourself how much you hate it and how awful it is and how horrible it is, once you decide to just be one with it, only then can that situation change. And I think that that's what's happening in love for you, Aries, that you've taken a decision that you are just going to let it flow. You're just going to go with the flow. And I feel like you are a little bit irresistible in the month of February. Tell me about career for Aries. Career for February 2024 for Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. We have crossing bridges. It's time for healing, connecting, mending, and releasing. Look, crossing a bridge is always about going somewhere, from somewhere to somewhere, right? You may have not been able to get there in the past because maybe there was no bridge in the past, possibly. But it looks like it is time. It feels like you've been thinking or contemplating crossing this bridge for a while. It's time for healing. So it's time to heal whatever it is that you feel is making you uncomfortable in your career path, connecting and mending. Maybe that is something that you would hope for, that you would wish for in your career, and then releasing. It does feel like for some of you, you'll be releasing your current career to cross over the bridge to something really beautiful. The thing is I think you're taking your own light. So for some of you, it could be that you're opening a business. We have someone here who's carrying their own light and they're just traveling by the light of the moon, and the universe, this person is like deciding to go with the flow. Water is flowing under the bridge, right? We're just going to let the water flow under the bridge. Wherever it goes, it goes. We're not going to try and control the process, control the situation, but we are going to listen to the universe, right? Because the full moon is here. Something is ending. Full moons are about crescendos, right? It's about things coming to an end. And then you take your own path, you take your own light, and you head off on the pathway over the bridge. You ever heard that people say it's just water under the bridge? It's like it just is what it is, right? It just goes where it goes. It's nothing that you can do about it. So this may be something that comes to an end naturally, or maybe you end it, or maybe they do. We'll take a look at that. Tell me about the finances, please. Finances for Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter for February 2024. Flexibility. Okay. So you're going to have to be flexible with your finances if you're making this big change. Bottom of the deck, we have delight. It works out in your favor. It works out really good. And we have the time is now. Answering the call. Oh, very interesting. Answering the call. So you might either get something as a download from the universe that is calling you, like you're calling. Like you may be leaving your career to decide to go forward and chase your calling. Your calling could have something to do with why you need to find your light. The time is now. Answer the call. Somebody's leaving the door. Somebody is leaving. They're heading over the bridge. And I thought she had fire in her hand. She doesn't, though. Yeah. The time is now. There's no better time like now, it seems. Let's take a look at some tarot. So something's coming up for love for those of you who are looking for it in the month of February. Looks like you're a little bit irresistible in the month of February. There's going to be a lot of passion around you, my friend. All right. Tell me about Aries. Aries, if you're interested in a private read, you want to know about any of this stuff, you can go over to Wizio and get a reading based on your own energy. Please look below this video, click on more. You'll find a link to Wizio. I do have a 3-month reading there as well, February, March, April. All right, tell me about love for Aries. What is coming up, please? We do have the 6 of Cups. Interesting. So nostalgia, thinking about times past. Only time will tell. You might be thinking about someone from the past, possibly, or someone that you've known for a really long time. And we've got you in hermit mode here, going over details with Virgo. Virgo energy is really very specifically concentrated on what's best for the self. Being highly critical of the self. The star is in the lamp. You can see there's healing here. And the hermit energy, I feel, is you gaining wisdom over some sort of a situation that that lingers in your memory, it feels like. Tell me more. We have the 7 of Swords. It's interesting because I feel like with this Virgo energy here, with the Hermit energy here and the 7 of Swords, it feels like you're trying to gain some wisdom over a situation that you've been keeping under wraps. It feels like you haven't been talking to anybody about it, not how you feel about it, not what the situation is. It feels like you are still thinking about someone from the past, but you're not telling anyone about it. You're not bringing any of it to the surface. But I feel like in the month of February, you make a decision about it, because the 2 swords are here and they're pointing down. For me, as a reader, when swords are pointing up, that means that I don't have a decision, I'm blocked. But when swords are pointing down for me, it feels like somebody is going to be making a decision to speak aloud. It's going to take some healing though. And you're not really sure what to say. And that's why you're in the 7 of Swords. That's why you're keeping it hidden. That's why it's under wraps here. And I think you're in the Hermit energy with this. I think you're thinking about it. Tell me more about Aries for love. We have the Lovers. So we have confirmed that it is in fact a past love or someone that you have history with. Possibly someone who's a friend. We do have the 8 of Cups. It feels like with this being in the middle of everything, because I do 3 rows and it's like past, present, and future. And so I feel like in the present energy here, sort of like mid-month, it feels like you pull away from something, or you've decided that you can't settle for a situation anymore. It's time to move forward to somewhere. Again, I get friendship, right? So that's what I'm getting here. And that's what I got sort of with the 6 of Cups, is that we do have the 3 of Pentacles. And the 3 of Pentacles is the beginning of something, right? It's the foundation that we set. No matter what we do, there should always be a foundation first, because if we build our house on the sand, it's going to cave in, right? We need to build our house on the rock. So it feels like with the 3 of Pentacles that it starts off with some sort of a collaborative effort. I want to say that you choose to pull away from a situation that you're currently engaged in that might be romantically related. And so for some of you, you'll end up pulling out of that vibration, or decide that you no longer want to settle for that this person that you're with isn't being collaborative enough. This person isn't on your team, or you feel like you're doing all the heavy lifting and that they're the one watching you do all the heavy lifting. So I feel like for some of you, you are pulling out of a vibration. You're choosing to do that because you know that there is somebody out there, possibly who might be just a friend at this point, who is a love interest. We do have the 3 of Cups. Going into the future here, we do have the 3 of Cups. Tell me more about the 3 of Cups. We've got the 8 of Swords. And we've got the Knight of Cups. So what I feel like is going on here, as we get into the end of the month here, it feels like you're invited somewhere. I feel like there is a social invitation. And I feel like it's a social invitation from a group of people, because the 3 to me is also a group of people. So it feels like you're about to maybe do a little bit of networking as it pertains to whatever you do for work or business. We have the 3 of Cups. I feel like the invitation comes in, but I feel like you go directly into the 8 of Swords. I'm not really sure I want to go to this. Why? Because there's going to be somebody there that I know. Someone that I have feelings for, someone that has feelings for me, and I'm not sure if I'm going there with a cup or not. So it feels like there is some sort of an invitation that comes to you, my friend. It feels like you're unsure about whether you will go or not. I don't know, the Hierophant's here. It's a lesson learned. You might end up seeing someone who is a water sign, an earth sign, a Gemini. Take it as it resonates, but it feels like a lesson is learned here. Yeah, a lesson is learned. I feel like you've learned the lesson, and the lesson is that I must stop dragging my heels. I got to stop being in this indecision. I got to stop waiting for other people to make decisions for me. I got to start making decisions for myself. I think this is a lesson that you have to learn about ending this. Yeah, I think that's a lesson. All right. But you are especially irresistible in the month of February. All right, let's talk about your career. Tell me about career for Aries, please. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. It's time for healing. So it feels like maybe something that you are doing or were doing, you are no longer going to be doing that thing. It's time for you to heal. And the only way that you can heal, I feel, is to disconnect, connect back to yourself, and release something that never served you as it pertains to your career. Excuse me. I'm a little bit sniffly because my son made me a really beautiful Indian curry for dinner. And it was a little hot. And so I'm a little bit sniffly, so my apologies. But so we have the Six of Pentacles in the reverse. Yeah. So it feels like you are leaving because you are no longer getting reciprocity. I want to say that maybe the bonuses at work have stopped. And there isn't anybody collaborating with you anymore. It feels like the Six of Pentacles in the reverse is nobody is giving the way they used to give. And you're the one that's doing all the giving. And they're doing all the taking. And I think that that's not sitting well with you in the month of February here. And then you go into this place of, but I hate looking for a job, right? Don't we all? I hate looking for a new job. So the Two of Swords tells me that you're kind of stuck in your head. You don't see the situation for what it is, or you are not prepared to take off the blinders because you know that if you leave this place of work, the place where you're not getting much for reciprocity, you know that you're going to have to look for another job. And I don't think you want to. The Two of Swords. And honestly, I don't think that you expected you would have to, but I think that in February, something takes a turn as it pertains to your career that you are just not having it. We have the Star. And so it feels like once you do take off the blinders, once you decide to get out of this place that you're stuck in, because you know the polished rut has a lot of power over us, right? Rather than having change and having to learn new things and new people and new situations and new jobs, we sometimes want to be stuck. You know, we allow ourselves to be stuck by putting on those blinders and not seeing the situation for what it is. But I feel like the Star is here intellectually to tell you that this place is not a place that you want to stay. We've got two swords, and for me, the Star is an extra sword because it is Aquarius. So it feels like to me that there's three swords here. It's disappointing. You no longer want to be here. I feel like you have big ideas about what you want to do. I'm looking at the Star and I'm thinking wish fulfillment, that it feels like there is something that you still want to do and you don't want to waste all of your time essentially in a place that doesn't care if you're there or not. And most places don't. Most corporations are just there to use you up and spit you out and get you to retire and get you on your way. I feel like you are leaving a place of work in February, or at least you're going to be thinking about it. But it feels like you feel that you've done all that you can do here, because the World card is about an achievement. It's also about a milestone. It's like, well, where do I go from here? Like, it feels like that you don't feel like there's anywhere else you can go from here. Like there is a glass ceiling wherever it is that you work. We've got Scorpio, Taurus, Aquarius, Leo energy here, along with Aquarius energy. The World, closing a door. And I really do feel that it's a celebratory time. It's a celebratory time, and I feel like this time you're going to do it. So maybe you've threatened to do it before. Maybe you come home some days and throw down your bag and take off your shoes and say, I'm done with this frickin' place. But you keep going back day after day. I think this is the year that you get out of that place and you start something brand new. The Page of Pentacles is here. In fact, I think that you already have something on your mind, I want to say, because as soon as you think about it and give that to the universe starts putting stuff in place for you. So the Page of Pentacles tells me that something is already growing in the 3D. It's already there. It's standing right in front of you. You just have to reach out for it. Yeah, it feels like that you are putting some space between you and the people that you work for. Because I feel like you're a person who gives 100%, 110%, 120%. And I feel like this place of work is not really giving anything to you here. I think that's why you're leaving, why you're ready to cross the bridge. Tell me what happens in the future, please. I think this is being in the present moment tells me that it's happening soon. Tell me about the future. We've got the Four of Cups. Look, you're going to get an opportunity. This person here is looking at this opportunity, and it might be an opportunity that you got long ago, but maybe at that time you were like, nah, I think I'll stay here. You know, they've promised me a lot of things. I think I'll stay at this job. And I feel like you still have this opportunity here that you're looking at. You're kind of staring it in the face. I'm just going to say it's right there. You just have to decide to reach out for it here. I think that this place here, this place that you're at in the current moment that you're going to leave, I think that this place might cut your hours, or they might kind of force you out a little bit. Like it feels like with the Five of Pentacles that something new begins, like maybe they implement something new there, and it ends up cutting your hours, which in effect cuts your finances. So I feel like maybe at some point you are forced out of there. So look, I feel like in your career, everything is going to be fine. We've got the Apex of Happiness, the happiest card in the deck, and we have a beautiful home in the background. We have a partner. It feels like there is something that is going to make you really happy, but it is going to take, it's going to take you making the decision to leave where you are. And just because I said it, it doesn't mean it has to be you. But if you're the one who this resonates with, it's because you've already been thinking it. I'm just confirming what you've already been thinking. So we have the Seven of Wands here. And so it feels like you have a lot to lose, I want to say, with the Ten of Cups. It's what I want to say is maybe when you were at this job, you feel like, meh, if I lose the job, I lose the job. But when you get into a place that you really love, a thing that supports your family, if it's a business or a new job at another corporation, I feel like now you are a little bit defensive. Now you feel like you have a lot to lose. I really do feel like this is something that you really need to think about carefully. Don't make any quick moves with the Star here. It is a wish fulfillment for you, or it would be very healing for you to get out of the situation that you're in, but not everybody is going to make that jump in the month of February, but possibly be thinking about it in the month of February. All right. Let's talk about your finances. Tell me what's coming up in the finances. Now, the thing is this, is if you are going to leave a job, you're going to have to, if you're not going to stay at that job until you find another job, then you're going to have something in the bank. And so I feel like you're going to have to be very flexible in your finances if you decide to walk out of this place and just say, look, I'm out. You're not getting my notice. I don't care. I'm out. Right? So you might have to have a little bit of flexibility as it pertains to your finances. Tell me about finances for Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. We do have the Page of Cups. We have the Six of Cups. Yeah. Charlie was just pointing out that maybe the finances are connected to this person here, the one that you've been thinking about from the past. It could be somebody who is in your line of work, or somebody who might be able to get you a job. I want to say that with the Six of Cups and one in the page is 7, we also have a Seven of Pentacles. This is good luck, right? Sevens are good luck. Sevens are about heaven. I feel like this flexibility that you are going to have in your finances is because you're throwing your seeds in a new direction, right? The Seven of Pentacles is holding those seeds, right? Seeds of intention. Your intention is to watch your finances grow. And I do believe that it's like you need to leap and then the universe is going to catch you. The universe wants to know how much you want it as it pertains to what type of money you're going to make. But I want to say that here I felt this was a glass ceiling. I feel like there's no ceiling because I feel like this will grow and grow and grow and grow. The Six of Cups tells me that that you have knowledge from the past. Somebody taught you about finances and how to be flexible with your finances. And I want to say that it's somebody who does have affection for you. It could have to do something about this Six of Cups. It does feel like it's nostalgia. Someone taught it to you long ago. Somebody who you thought maybe wouldn't have that much significance in your life, but the Six of Cups is over here as well in the love section. And it is about nostalgia, right? Nostalgia, something that you're keeping under wraps, someone that you're thinking about. Tell me more about the finances, please. I feel like you're going to be surprised. You're going to be surprised at how quickly your finances grow. Once you are determined to do it, to make these changes and be flexible, I feel like you're going to be surprised, Page of Cups, about how quickly things take off here. Now we have the Two of Swords still here, right? We got the Two of Swords here. We have the Two of Swords here. We have the Seven of Cups. So I feel like what you're, this is kind of interesting because I feel like what you're doing here is like, you're doing it scared, you're doing it sad, you're doing it afraid, you're doing it with your eyes covered, but you're just doing it anyway. So I'm going to say that most of us operate this way. Everyone else thinks that everyone else has it made. That, gosh, this person must be so brave to do this kind of work, or they must be so brave to take this leap of faith. The truth is we're all just scared. We're all afraid. And although some of us have more confidence, maybe we're raised with more confidence than others, I feel like that it feels like that you're taking a real risk with your finances by leaving this job. And some of you are going to wait until you find a new job. Others of you are just going to shut the door and say, I'm out. And the ones of you who shut the door and say, I'm out, make sure that you're prepared to be flexible in your finances. Maybe downsize where you're living or downsize your car or maybe get rid of your car. But you're going to have to make some changes, right, in order to be able to survive until you find the next job or until your business takes off. So the Two of Swords tells me that you're scared to see the situation for what it is, and it is overwhelming, and it makes you sort of feel at times regretful that you quit the job. Look, when I quit my job, when I walked out, and I did walk out, world card, boom, I'm out. See you guys later. I'm good. No more ruining my mental health. I did have some regrets. I have to be honest. I did have some regrets for the first little while as I was building my business. It's terrifying to do so. So I feel like you, in the middle of the month, I feel like you are feeling a little bit like, oh, I shouldn't have given up that job. But I want to say it's only because of the Seven of Cups, because you're feeling overwhelmed by what you can't see and that you are kind of pushing up against the brick wall instead of allowing it to flow. Tell me more about the finances for Aries. We have the Star. Look, we're getting some of the same cards. We got the Star, we got Justice, and the Page of Pentacles. Look, you've made the right move. I feel like if you haven't already started this business, that you're about to do it in February. And I want to say again, please remember, right? 5 years or 10,000 hours is what you need in order to be able to know if this business is going to float or not. So we do have the Star. We do have the Star. It's your wish fulfillment. Whatever it is that you're doing to make money now, by the end of February, I feel is the wish fulfillment, whether that's a job with a corporation or your own business. I feel like it does give you the feeling of justice, that you feel like you have found your justice. Things are finally getting back in balance at the end of February, and that we do have the Page of Pentacles here. And the Page of Pentacles, of course, is something brand new that's beginning. It's sprouting, right? So I feel like your finances, although a little bit, I feel like for those of you who just walk out and say, I'm good, I don't really care, I'm out. I think for those of you, it's going to be a little more stressful in February. But I think for those of you who are more prepared to leave or have money in the bank, that you're probably going to be going through this, oh, should I have left that job? Now I feel blocked. What do I do next? Like, I have to get my crap together and find out what I'm doing, because it feels like you're having regrets about leaving the job. I'm going to say, though, that it works out by the end of the month. You either find the job, you either start the business, or things start to pick up for you. Maybe you've got a side gig that you end up having, that ends up taking off really well, because I think that the Page of Pentacles is telling me that it's going, yeah, look at that. You've learned a lesson. You've learned a lesson. And for some of you, you might be a life coach. You might be just a natural life coach, someone who helps other people, someone who is is a spiritual giant, someone who has, traditions and values, really good moral tradition values that you share with other people. I think that if you are the person who is in business, that it's likely that that's the kind of business you're going to be into. But maybe you're going to go work for another company and do those things too. This is a lesson learned, my friend. You have learned the lesson, and I love it. You're in charge of your own finances. Bottom of the deck, we have the Three of Swords. Why? Your gut is freaking you out. It's like, why did you do this, Aries? Why did I do this? Because it was time to go. And look, whether you would have stayed or not, look, that third wand is burnt down to nothing. It's going to be burnt down to nothing. What's left? The Two of Wands. Then you're there standing at the crossroads saying, what do I do now? I think this is what you do now. I think for some of you that you're worried because now that you've got something, now that you've got something to risk and lose, I think it works out. I think your risk pays off. Look, you are the risk taker of the bunch, right? You'll take calculated risks, but you are the risk taker of the bunch. I'm going to go for now. Thank you so much for coming here and watching. I appreciate you. I hope to see you in the comments. Thank you for the thumbs up. I'm going to go, but I'll be back because I'm always back. Love you guys. I'm out. Bye-bye.